Russia conducted one of the largest combined drone and missile strikes against Ukrainian critical infrastructure on August 26th, targeting 15 Ukrainian oblasts. The attacks involved multiple missile types, including Kh-47 Mi-2 aero-ballistic, Iskander-M ballistic, Kh-101 cruise missiles, and Shahed drones. Ukrainian forces successfully intercepted many of these attacks, including 99 Shaheds. The strikes damaged critical infrastructure, including the Kyiv hydroelectric power plant, but Ukrainian officials reported minimal damage to the plant itself. These strikes prompted calls from Ukrainian officials for more air defense systems from their Western partners. Despite the damage, the strikes revealed Russia's limitations in sustaining such efforts. Ukraine issued a warning to Belarus amid the recent buildup of Belarusian forces at the border, particularly in Gomel Oblast, near the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Ukrainian intelligence reported that Belarus deployed a significant number of personnel, including special operations forces and Wagner Group fighters, under the pretext of a military exercise. Ukrainian officials believe the buildup is intended to stretch their forces across a wider front line. However, ISW assesses that Belarusian forces are unlikely to invade Ukraine due to the constraints facing President Lukashenko, who is wary of the political and military risks involved. Ukrainian forces attempted to strike Engels air base in Saratov Oblast and an oil refinery in Yaroslavl Oblast with drones on the morning of August 26th. Russian officials claimed that air defenses intercepted the drones, but geolocated footage shows a drone striking a building in Saratov city, causing infrastructure damage. These attacks mark Ukraine's continued efforts to target Russian military and energy infrastructure. The Engels airbase has been a previous target of Ukrainian strikes, highlighting Ukraine's strategy to disrupt Russian military operations deep within Russian territory. No official Ukrainian sources have commented on these strikes yet. Belarusian forces buildup along the Ukrainian border may serve to distract and stretch Ukrainian defenses. Analysis by Frontelligence Insight and Rochon Consulting suggests that Belarusian combat units operate at only 30 to 40% of their total strength, requiring mobilization to prepare for any significant operation. This indicates that the Belarusian buildup is likely a tactic to support Russian operations by forcing Ukraine to allocate forces to its northern border, rather than a genuine preparation for an invasion. Belarusian President Lukashenko is likely reluctant to fully commit to combat operations, given the potential domestic and international consequences. Russian forces recently advanced northeast of Kharkiv city, continuing their push to recapture areas near the Ukrainian border. Fighting remains ongoing in Vovchansk and other nearby settlements as Russian forces attempt to consolidate gains and approach Kharkiv. Elements of the Russian 11th Tank Regiment and the 41st Motorized Rifle Regiment are involved in these operations. The Ukrainian military continues to resist, but the Russian forces appear to be making slow, incremental gains in this area. The fighting in northeastern Ukraine highlights the ongoing intensity of the conflict, with both sides committed to controlling key areas near the border. Russian forces continue offensive operations along the Kupiansk-Svatove-Kremina line in Luhansk Oblast, but have not made any confirmed advances. The attacks targeted multiple locations, including Sinkivka, Petropavlivka, and Hlushkivka, as Russian forces attempt to push westward into eastern Kharkiv Oblast and northern Donetsk Oblast. Ukrainian forces have managed to repel several of these attacks, but the fighting remains intense. The Luhansk region remains a critical battleground, with Russian forces aiming to capture the entirety of the oblast, while Ukrainian forces focus on defending their positions and counterattacking where possible. In Donetsk Oblast, Russian forces recently advanced in the Siversk and Pokrovsk directions amid continued offensive operations. Geolocated footage from August 26th shows Russian forces advancing in several areas, including Druzhba and central Novohrodivka. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian ground attacks also continued near Toretsk and Vuhledar. These advances reflect Russia's persistent efforts to capture more territory in Donetsk, despite facing stiff Ukrainian resistance. The situation in Donetsk remains fluid, with ongoing clashes and shifting control of key locations, as both sides attempt to gain the upper hand.